Alright, I'm back with another recording. It is around 3 in the afternoon, and we have to move on to the next location of Chapter 4, which is Moonside. And Moonside is actually the reverse dimension of Foreside. It's constantly nighttime in Moonside, and there's backwards logic. And what I mean by that is that in Moonside, yes means no and no means yes. Why? Oh yeah, and there's also invisible walls in some spots. So yeah, you want to come to the Foreside Cafe, speak to these two NPCs here, then exit the cafe, and then we'll see a familiar friend of ours, Everdread, which we fought all the way back in Chapter 2. Okay, what do I want to give him? I'll just give him this pizza. So yeah, we have to talk to him, and he'll just say a bunch of stuff. And he says something about the evil Manny Manny statue, which we actually see pretty often throughout the game. We saw it back in Chapter 1, and then you see it again in Chapter 2, and then you see it again here in Chapter 4. Because after Chapter 2 is over, Everdread managed to steal the evil Manny Manny statue from Mr. Carpainter, which was a previous boss. But then Everdread got the evil Manny Manny statue stolen from him by Monotoli. And he says that in order to find the evil Manny Manny statue, we have to go back inside the cafe, and we have to check behind the counter, and then that will take us to Moonside. So yeah, we have to check behind the counter here. And then this will teleport us to Moonside. And there's 4 more drops to get here in Moonside. The first one is from the abstract art, which has a 4 in 128 chance of dropping a refreshing herb. There's the enraged fire plug, which has a 1 in 128 chance of dropping a sudden guts pill. There's the Dolly's clock, which also has a 1 in 120 chance of dropping a PSI caramel. And then finally, the Robo Pump, which has a 2 in 120 chance of dropping a super bomb. So yeah, every enemy here has low drop rates, unfortunately. And when I did this challenge for the first time, I referred to Moonside as the time of suffering, but with annoying music. Because the music here in Moonside is annoying. It sucks. Alright, I gotta go real quick. Alright, I'm back. And I also brought a water with me. So yeah, Moonside is very confusing to navigate. There's a lot of invisible walls in this dimension. Oh yeah, and keep in mind, none of the stuff in Moonside is actually real. It's actually just a hallucination caused by the evil Manny Manny statue. And basically what the evil Manny Manny statue is that it's a golden human looking statue that appears throughout the game sometimes. And it causes the spread of Gygas's evil influence. Well, Gygas himself already has a pretty strong evil influence, but with the evil Manny Manny statue, he can spread it even more. And yeah, all the enemies here are pretty weird. Like, come on, I'm fighting a sentient painting. A sentient painting. Do you see this right now? Like, dude, they have me out here fighting paintings, gas pumps, clocks, and a freaking fire hydrant. It's like I said many times before, this game will just make you fight whatever it feels like it. And the way you have to navigate around Moonside is by talking to specific NPCs that will teleport you around the map. Because in order to get to the evil Manny Manny statue and fight it, you have to find a guy who has a gold tooth and has a unibrow. And no, I am not joking. You actually have to do that. This game is just weird. But hey, everyone knows that. Everyone knows that EarthBound is weird. And you have to talk to NPCs that have blonde hair. Like that guy right there. And if you talk to the correct one, they'll teleport you somewhere around the map. And even though I've played this game so many times, I always forget which one it is. Oh yeah, and when I did this challenge for the first time, Moonside ended up being the most annoying section of the challenge. Because all of the enemies had high drop rates, low drop rates I meant. And on top of that, the music is pretty annoying in Moonside. And it's just really annoying to navigate too. Like, I really do not like this part of the game. Oh yeah, and what's worse about Moonside is that if I fought the evil Manny Manny statue, which is the next boss, these enemies are permanently locked out. I can't get their drops again, like ever. So Moonside is literally the only opportunity you get to get these drops. Because once you fight the boss, they're gone forever. Like, they're just gone. So I have to make sure to stay here until I get all the drops. Just like with the Foresight department store. Dude, where is this NPC? Is it this one? Excuse me. It's not that one. I never knew there was a present right there. That's the first time I'm finding out about that. Okay, so far I'm 10 minutes into the recording and I haven't even gotten started on which enemy I'm gonna grind. And if I'm being honest, I should probably target one of the enemies with the lower drop rates, like the Dolly's Clock or the Enraged Fireplug. Because I'm trying to get done with this section of the game. Because I don't like Moonside. Oh yeah, it also doesn't help that most of the enemies here share the same overworld sprite. Okay, I shouldn't say most. It's only the Enraged Fireplug and the Robopump that share the same overworld sprite. So if I tried to target an Enraged Fireplug or a Robopump, I wouldn't know until the battle actually starts. Dude, I'm just trying to progress the game. Oh my god. They're everywhere. Okay, we got the right one. Wait, that was the right one. I talked to that guy earlier and it didn't work. Okay, so I guess you have to talk to that guy at the bottom first and then talk to that NPC? Which is stupid. Oh yeah, the enemies can go through the invisible walls, but you can't, because that's 100% fair. Dude, how did the enemies get to go through the invisible walls? Like, how was that even fair? Handbag strap. I'm gonna give this to Jeff. Secret herb. And remember, in Moonside, yes means no, and no means yes. So I have to say no here. Because Moonside just has backwards logic. That's just great. And then we have to talk to an invisible NPC. Well, he's not exactly invisible. You can see him. But, yeah. And then once you talk to that invisible guy, you find yourself at the hotel in Moonside. And then that invisible guy joins you. So you have to bring him to that guy that wants to meet him for some reason. Hey, seriously, why do you want to meet up with a guy that specifically has a unibrow and specifically has a gold tooth? Oh my god, leave me alone. I'm not trying to grind right now. I'm just trying to get this invisible man out the way. Alright, so there's the evil Manny statue right there. But we can't fight that thing yet, because, you know, I have to get all the drops here. Otherwise, I will fail the challenge. Alright, we just have to find a target. And my target is the enraged fire plug, because they are probably the most annoying enemy we have to deal with in this dimension. Because the enraged fire plug does a ton of damage, and they have one of the lowest drop rates. Okay, I gotta see what these two things are. They're both enraged fire plugs. Wait, what are you? Enraged fire plug and a robo pump. That kind of sucks. Okay, we have to single out an enraged fire plug, because even if it's two of the same enemy, the drop rates still get lower. I find it best to find enraged fire plugs down here, where the evil Manny statue is. Bro, I'm right in front of you. Okay, I gotta see what this thing is. You monkey! Oh my god. I did all that work just for it to be a robo pump. Surely you're the right target. Yeah, you're the right target. An enraged fire plug. Wait, I can get him stuck on a tree. Wait, I can't go down there. I forgot. There's invisible walls. Okay, let's test this out. Okay, no enemies are trying to group up. That's good. Alright, we have the save state, and the enraged fire plug is singled out. So this is gonna take a while because it is a 1 in 128 chance, but other than that, let's start grinding for the first drop in Moonside. And he asked, how many days are in a week? Like, are we serious? We learned this since like day 1 of going to school. What do you mean how many days are in a week? Are we this cooked? Oh, yes. Yes. Let's go. That actually didn't take long at all. If I'm being completely honest, I thought that was going to take like 30 minutes to get. But we got the enraged fire plugs drop. And for the people watching the unedited version of this video, you guys got to listen to to me complain about life. But yeah, that's really just the point of the unedited videos. It's just like speak about random things. And then the edited versions are the ones people are obviously going to be watching. Because the footage is more sped up. And it gets straight to the point. And plus the edited versions of these videos are it's going to be the versions of footage I'm going to be using when I have to make the EarthBound enemy drop challenge movie again. But that is it for this recording. But like seriously though, I did not expect to get the enraged fire plugs drop that fast. And in the next recording, we're gonna have to target another enemy with a 1 in 128 chance, aka the Dolly's clock.